تتمة سنن الوضوء والغسل والتيمم. يسن في الوضوء التسمية والنية وغسل اليدين إلى الرسغين ابتداء، والسواك والمضمضة ثلاثا ولو بغرفة، والاستنشاق بثلاث غرفات، وتخليل اللحية الكثة والأصابع، والتثليل الغسل، واستيعاب الرأس بالمسح مرة، ومسح الأذنين، والدلك والولاء، والترتيب والبداءة بالميامن ورؤوس الأصابع ومقدم الرأس، ومسح الرقبة لا الحلقوم. Supplement sunnahs of ablution, the purificatory bath and tayammum. So sunnahs of wudu, sunnahs of ghusl, and sunnahs of tayammum. Sunnahs of ablution. The following are sunnahs of ablution. Beginning with the name of Allah, meaning saying Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Number 2, beginning with the intention. Number 3, washing the hands to the wrist at the beginning, meaning at the beginning, washing the hands including the wrist. Number 4, brushing the teeth using a toothstick, meaning miswak. Number 5, rinsing the mouth thrice, even with a single scoop of water. So 3 times placing water into the mouth. Number 6, rinsing the nose with 3 separate scoops of water. Number 7, combining one's thick beard with one's fingers. Meaning takhleel. Why is takhleel done? Firstly, what's the definition of a thick beard? If you are unable to see the skin, if you are unable to see the skin under the beard, when you wash the face, the water goes over the beard, but later on you perform takhleel. Takhleel is placing the hand into the beard. This is if you have a beard which is thick, and definition of thick is that the skin underneath the beard is not visible. If it's visible, then you must wash the skin of the beard. So combining in between the fingers, meaning when washing the fingers, doing takhleel of the fingers is rubbing the fingers, making sure the water enters the creases of the skin of the hand. Washing the limbs thrice, wiping the entire head once, because the fard was wiping 1/4 of the head, but wiping the entire head is fard. Passing one's a hand over the limbs as one washes them, washing them uninterruptedly, observing the recommended order, beginning the washing with the right limbs, the tips of the fingers, meaning when you wash the hands, start with the tips of the fingers, and the front of the head when wiping the head. So you do not wipe backwards, you wipe from the front. And wiping the nape of the neck. So wiping the nape is a sunnah, and not the throat, not wiping the throat. Are there any questions on this? One thing I would say is, if a person performs ablution in a public place, like when you stop in services on the motorway, when you perform ablution, you must look at the area in which you are performing ablution. Meaning, if Muslims are leaving puddles of water on the ground, wiping themselves with tissue and throwing the tissue onto the ground, what impression are they giving non-Muslims? So whenever performing ablution in public places, make sure when you enter a toilet, the area is clean after you have left. Likewise, when using a public sink, making sure the area is dry and clean when you have left. This is because living in a majority non-Muslim country, we are ambassadors of Islam, role models of Islam. So everything Muslims do is an impression of Islam for the non-Muslim. Sunnahs of the purificatory bath. وَيُسَنُّ فِي الْغُسْلِ أَيْضًا. So here the sunnahs of the ghusl: التسمية والنية وغسل اليدين ونجاسة لو كانت على بدنه بانفرادها، ثم الوضوء كوضوء الصلاة، ثم يفيض الماء على بدنه 3 ويبتدئ بصب الماء برأسه ثم منكبيه الأيمن ثم الأيسر ويدلك جسده. The following are sunnah in the purificatory bath also. Beginning with the name of Allah, meaning tasmiyah. Beginning with the intention, washing the hands and any filth if it is on one's body by itself. Following by performing the ablution like the ablution for prayer. Then one pours water over one's body 3 times. Beginning by pouring the water over one's head and then one's shoulders, the right followed by the left. Of course, this was when people would use buckets. Now most people use showers. And finally, one passes one's hands over one's body as one washes. Sunnahs of dry ablution, meaning those things which must be done during tayammum, which is dry ablution. وَيُسَنُّ فِي التَّيَمُّمِ التَّسْمِيَةُ وَالتَّرْتِيبُ وَالْمُوَالَاةُ وإقبال اليدين وإدبار ما بعد وضعهما في التراب وتفريج أصابعهما ونفضهما. The following are sunnah in dry ablution. Beginning with the name of Allah. So saying Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim at the beginning. Observing the recommended order between wiping the limbs. Meaning, if someone wipes the arms first and then wipes the face, he has gone against the prophetic manner of performing tayammum. But the question is, if someone is walking in the desert and a wind blows or a desert storm comes and the person intends tayammum, is his tayammum done? The answer is yes. What he does, he intends, his intention must be there, and then once the sand blows on his face and arms, he just rubs. And his tayammum is done. To wipe uninterruptedly. Moving the hands forward and pulling them backwards after placing them on the earth. So when rubbing them on the earth, moving them forward and backwards, and then spreading the fingers when striking the earth, and shaking the dust off them, meaning the hands. Are there any questions regarding any of these sunnahs?
You mentioned obviously for ghusl if you forgot a body part. Is that the same with wuzu as well? If you forgot about the after how long you can actually...
The question is, if someone during wudu forgets to wash a certain limb, does he go back and just wash that limb, or does he perform the entire ablution again? The answer is, he goes back and he just washes that area. So someone is performing ablution, they wash the face, they wash the arms, they wash the feet, but they forget to wipe the head. Later on they just go and wipe the head.
But what if he performed salah after he remembered and he forgot to wipe his head?
If he performed salah, prayer, and after prayer he remembered he had forgotten to wipe the head, meaning he was certain, then he must wipe the head and then re-perform the prayer.